planning approx the 18,000 crore rupees fund towards the refund. And in the last 2 weeks report, almost 5,000 crores refunds are already processed. So looking this number and looking the government initiative towards the refund, sanctioning of the refund, this is the correct time to claim the refund, and hence today's topic connected is with respect to the refund only. So friends, not only the because we want to process or we want to claim the refund, but another scenario is because of lockdown, every businesses is facing the liquidity crunch, and even it is difficult to manage the fixed cost at present for many of the businesses. And due to this, I think refund or whatever the refund are processed in this scenario, this will definitely help the businesses to again regain and again rework and again go into the businesses. So refund is somehow critical aspects of the all businesses, and hence we are trying to address the refund and the refund related glitches in the today's session. So our today's session basically not related to the discussion on the process of the refund, because we are claiming the refund from last 2 years, and maybe I think everyone is aware of the process of the refund. But today we are going to discuss thoroughly about the what are the ways or what are the scenarios where you can go for the refund. Second, what is the time limit, because in time limit there are some changes. Then system related, so some of the refund are stuck on account of system related challenges. So how these challenges can be addressed so that you can process your refund quickly, that we are going to discuss. Then newly, so whatever the new changes and new hurdles created by the government, even the government is thinking to process the refund. In addition to that, if in opposite side they are creating hurdle also for getting that refund sanctioned. So whatever that hurdles created, we are going to discuss, and way forward for the same. So way forward for the industry to claim the refund in proper way. This is our session is basically divided into these many parts. So friends, let's start with our session. So if we see the background of the refund, if you have to claim the refund, at least you should know the some documents, and what are that documents. First, section 54 is related to refund. So in section 54, you get the scenario wherein you can claim the refund. Then the rule 89 to 97 of the CGST rules, you have to refer for the purpose of process of the refund. So rule 89 to 97, you get all the process, what document to be submitted, and many of you are already knows the process of the refunds, and we are not going to discuss that. We are going to discuss the advanced part. So what if your refund is stuck in anywhere, how you can in better approach, by way of better approach, you can claim that. We are going to discuss that. Then there are 30 notifications issued with respect to off refund. So these notifications are more than 30 notifications are specifically with respect to refund, and that you require to refer. Then there are more than 20 circulars. So clarifying circulars are clarifying various aspects of the refund, and such a circulars issued are almost more than 20 circulars, which you have to refer if you intend to claim the refund. And approx 20 FAQs are issued with respect to refund and the procedure of the refund. So these are the documents which you have to refer if you want to claim the refund. So this is the macro view of the refund, you can say. Now, if you are planning to the refund in GST Act, you can say either you can claim the refund of output GST, means whatever paid at the outward supply at the time of outward supply, or the input GST, means the whatever you had incurred the expenses and GST charge on the same. So either you can go for output and input. So what are the scenario in which you can claim the output GST paid? So first of all, if the business having the export with GST without cover of LUT. So you are exporting the goods or services without cover of the LUT and charging the GST on the same, then such a refund claim is required to be filed with the custom authorities. And the filing or application, the shipping bill itself considered as an application for such a refund. So these refunds are sanctioned by the custom authorities. This is related to outward supply. Second, output GST can be claimed in case of excess refund of the taxes paid. Means if you had already paid the taxes on certain services and which is got cancelled afterwards, or which is not provided at all, and you had issued the refund voucher again, so at the time of advances you have to issue the receipt voucher, and at the time of cancellation you have to issue the refund voucher. So when and as and when you had issued the refund voucher, in such a scenario, you can claim the refund of output GST. So friends, we are discussing only now the scenario where you can claim the output GST. Now, the tax wrongfully collected or paid means if you had collected and paid any wrongful means any transaction wherein tax is not required to be collected and paid, in such a scenario, you may claim the refund if the incidence of such a tax has not been passed out. Then the refund of output GST can be in another scenario where the tax or interest paid is excess. So if you have any taxes or interest in excess required to be paid, and in such a cases, incidence of such a tax is not borne by the other, not borne by your customer, then you can claim such a refund. And any other scenario which is not yet prescribed but government can prescribe, and due to COVID-19, government has also prescribed two scenario. We will discuss that later on. So these are the scenario where you can claim the refund of output GST. So now friends, moving forward towards the input GST, what are the scenario wherein you can claim the input GST or GST charged by your vendor on the expenses incurred for the purpose of business? So first of all, as you may aware that zero rated or deemed supply if you had made under the cover of LUT without charging the GST. So zero rated supply under the cover of LUT and without charging the GST, in such cases you can go for the refund of the input tax GST or expenses. Then inverted duty structure. What is means by inverted duty structure? If your output product is charging at a higher rate than charging at a lower rate than your input tax, means your outward supply has levied a tax rate of 5%, but whatever raw material or input you are using for manufacturing or supplying that product is either 28%. In such a cases, accumulated credit could be the huge, and you can plan for the and go for the refund of the accumulated credit. So inverted duty structure is one of the scenario where you can claim the then the recipient of the deemed supply. So in case of deemed supply, means supply to SEZ and EOU, either the recipient can claim the refund or the supplier can get the refund. So only in case of supplier, if supplier is claiming the refund in EOU supply, then they have to substantiate the fact that the recipient not avail the credit, and the undertaking to that extent has to be taken from the recipient. So these two conditions. So in case of deemed supply, both either of one, that supplier can go for the refund. So friends, this overall the scenario where you can apply for the refund. So if you are not applied in any of the scenario or any of the refund is pending, friends, it is should apply it on the priority, so that the refund will in this now government is processing the refund quickly, and you are able to get that refund quickly and liquidate. So moving forward, we will now going to discuss the time period. So as far as law is concerned, GST law is concerned, GST law prescribes that you have to claim the refund within 2 years from the relevant date. But now, on account of this pandemic scenario, on account of COVID-19 lockdown, government is saying whatever the refund where 2 years are completed within the period of 20 March to 29th June, means if your 2 years are expiring on the period on the month in the period of 20th March or 29th June, then government has allowed such a refund to be claimed up to 30th June. So it's extended time limit and the benefit if any of your refund claim is of 2 years is expiring in this between the period. Please note that you have a time limit up to 30th June and you should take that time limit and apply the refund on priority. So this is with respect to time limit and recent changes on time limit. Now, many of that the refunds are claimed, applied, but not processing, and not processing. And main reason of the not processing is the either system glitches, challenges, or the error. So what is meant by error? While filing of the refund claim, either you had made any of the error or while filing of any document like 3B, GSTR1, any inadvertent error has took place while filing of that document, and because of that refund are stuck at the various stage. Second challenge because of which refund is not getting sanctioned is the system glitches, and which is may not be in our hand, but whether we can resolve such a challenges. So yes, friend, we can resolve such a challenges, but there should be the patience of coordination with the authorities. So system glitches challenges also, system glitches challenges are required to be resolved by way of coordination with the authorities. So in our you can say that in such a scenario, like whenever there is an error or refund stuck on account of error or system glitches, there is no standard solution till now available with anyone, but government has issued certain circulars or clarification to these aspects. So if your refund is stuck on account of system glitches, then government has issued certain clarification to process such a refund. This clarification could help, and we are going to discuss such a clarification in coming slides. But even though such a clarifications are issued, some of the challenges are still unaddressed and you require to coordinate with the authorities. And it required substantial time, so that I had told that you required the patience in such a cases. So now we are going to discuss some of the common system glitches occurring in most of the refund cases, system glitches or error, and how to address the system glitches and error. So I have we had listed the two system glitches and error with respect to output tax, means if you are claiming the GST refund of the outward supply, and two common error or system glitches with respect to input tax, means you are going to claim the refund of the, or your refund is stuck on account of the system glitches of the refund claim towards input tax. So let's start with the first error. First error almost occurred in the case of output tax, where you are claiming the output tax on the GST paid at the time of the export. And this error is the refund are not getting processed on account of discrepancy in GSTR1, GSTR3B and custom EDI portal. So there is a discrepancy in that data filed with the either GSTR1, GSTR3B or custom port. So why this, so friends, first we'll understand why this error is getting happen. So many times this is not the system glitch, but error happened because of while filing of the details. But why this error is happening? Because if one data or one details, same details we are capturing in 5 documents by different person. So we are capturing 5 in 5 ways, same data by different person. So first we will first company will raise the invoice considering the taxable value. In that also some of the companies raising the 2 invoices. One is commercial invoice and one is GST invoice. So there are also two invoices are getting raised. So first, we are capturing all the details of taxable value, GSTN, address, etc. on the invoice. After that, that invoice data is getting captured into e-way bill. So same data we are providing at the time of e-way bill. After that, this data is getting captured into again shipping bill. So by filing of the shipping bill details, we are capturing same data, same HSN, same GSTN in the shipping bill. Then after the month end, we are preparing the GSTR1. Again, we are preparing the GSTR1, and at the last, we are preparing the GSTR3B. So in such a way, we are capturing similar data by the different person in the 5 different documents. And this is the main reason of the error in any one of the document. If we fill or if we capture the incorrect detail if inadvertently, then there could be the mismatch or discrepancy in GSTR1, Table 6, GSTR3B, and Custom Portal. Even though if you refer the circular number 5/2018, in such a circular also, Custom highlighted that the only 32% refund or records are of GSTR1 getting transferred. So only 32% records of among the 100%, only 32% records are getting transferred, and all other data having the errors. That's why government has issued the circular that you can clarify that the details of the invoices, shipping bill, and bill of export can be amended. So if you have any details are pending to be filed with respect to of shipping bill, or any incorrect details or error has been made while filing of the details of invoice, shipping bill, then you can correct that as per the circular of the GST now also. So 17-18 details also you can correct now. As far as custom is concerned, under custom also there is a circular 22, wherein they are extending the facility of amending the shipping bill EDI portal up to 31st December 19. So recently government on account of COVID-19 extended this facility and allowed to correct the errors of the shipping bill filed up to the dated of 31st December 2019. So now you can correct that error also. So these many two facilities for correction of the errors provided by the government, but still there is one unresolved issue. What is that? You may aware that the once invoice is amended at the GSTR1 portal, then they don't allow you to amend that same invoice again. So you can amend the one invoice at a one time. So if you got you already amended the invoices and now you want to amend for another error, then it is not allowed by the GST system. This is a challenge, and this challenge remains after even though issuance of this circular. So in such a scenario, there is no other option than the coordination with the authorities. Yes, refund is available because no procedural lapse can take away your substantial rights. So it's only the procedural lag that while filing of some document you had inadvertently made some errors. That does not mean that you are not allowed for the refund. Only the case that that circular is not covering this aspect, and you have to coordinate with the authorities. Either you have to go for the appeal. So based on the amount, you can decide the way forward. Another error which we have found while processing of the refund claim is the non-transmission of the details to IceGate. So friends, many times what happened, all the details provided or all details captured, even in GSTR1, 3B or shipping bills, all are correct, and nothing, we are not getting why even that the our refund is not getting processed or not, the details are not transmitted to the custom EDI portal. Friends, in such a scenario is a completely a system error or system glitch, and you have to coordinate with the authorities. Now here question arises, with which authority? Whether I will coordinate with the custom authority or whether I will coordinate with the GST authority. So based on the scenario, you should coordinate either with the GST authority or custom authority, but proper continuous coordination only the resolution of such a system glitch challenges. And if the amount is sufficient, we can go for the REIT, etc. But there should be the amount sufficient. And if amount is lower, you can coordinate with the authority and get even with the GSTN. So not only the custom authorities or not only the GST authorities, but you have to coordinate with the GSTN team. They will help you to resolve this error by way of grievance, help desk, etc. So this is the these are the two errors with respect to output GST. Now we are going to discuss about the two errors with respect to input GST. First is inadvertent filing of the nil refund. So friends, when GST law was introduced, many of the persons not know about the return procedure and inadvertently file the nil refund claim for that period. So what's happened? So that period accumulated credit is still in their books of accounts and they are not able to claim that refund. So after after getting known this error, government has issued a circular clarifying that for such a quarter you can file the refund under the other head. So government has clarified that as claim under the other head, but this is the subjective or conditional circular. So there is a condition attached to here that the for subsequent period refund you are not required to claim that refund. So if you have filed, let's say you have filed inadvertently the refund claim nil refund for July month. So for August month, if you had not filed the refund, then only you can file the July month refund again under the same heading. So, but it is found that the many of the assessee already filed the refund of the subsequent month, and hence this circular is not applied to them. And in such cases, no other way than treat with the High Court. So, in such cases, you can either you can go for the appeal, but appeal will take a long time as there is not that tribunal is not formed yet. So, REIT is the quick solution. You can go for the REIT and get your right to be in proper way. So this is related to nil refund. Now transfer of refund to different jurisdiction. Now another is the if your refund, many of us, you friends, you are also faced may have faced the challenges that your refund has transferred. You had applied for the input GST and that get transferred to another refund. So your jurisdiction is saying that I have not received your refund yet, but you have generated the ARN. So such a scenario has frequently happened. In such a cases, as the circular issued by the government, Circular 79 says that in such a cases, the jurisdiction authority to whom that refund has transferred should ensure that the refund is getting transferred to the correct jurisdiction within 3 days. So 3 days time limit is given in the circular, but if you see the practically that time limit is not following, it's not the authorities' fault, but authorities themselves not known where refunds are getting transferred. So even there is a circular, taxpayer or the consultant has to ensure that refund is filed for the correct jurisdiction. So if your jurisdiction is not getting traced, then you have to coordinate with the GSTN help desk, grievance, continuous follow-up with the authorities that will resolve this error. Even in our scenario, in many of the clients, we resolve this error in a week time. So a week, 2 week takes, I had taken time, but that we are able to find that jurisdiction where it's transferred and we are corrected that. So friends, you have to take initiative. Even though there is a circular, you have to coordinate for transfer of the jurisdiction at a correct officer. So this your responsibility. So whenever you are filing the refund, please ensure that that refund is reflecting to their system, and not reflecting, then please coordinate with the GSTN authority. So friends, these are some system glitches challenges which commonly observe in many of the taxpayers. There could be the another system glitches challenges, but solution with respect to same is depend on the nature of the system glitches. And many times even the authorities or GSTN committee is also searching for the solution. So whenever there is any other system glitches, we should try to highlight that as much as possible so that the GSTN authorities will resolve that errors. Now friends, on account of COVID-19 or in this scenario, even the government is thinking to process the refund. In addition to that, they had made certain changes in the GST refund. And we are going to discuss that changes. These changes are nothing but the hurdles. You can say that these changes are restricting your refund to some extent. So what are these changes? First, government is disallowing the refund claim in case of ITC arising on account of reduction of rent. So if you see that circular recently High Court in the case of Pitambara Books Limited held that the circular should not override the rights given in the law. So what is the Pitambara case? In the Pitambara case, it is highlighted that the financial year, there should not be restriction to claim the refund regarding the financial year. Means if your financial, there one circular has issued by the GST and GST Council that you claim the refund or you choose the periodicity so that your financial year should not be override. Means your financial year, so a refund claim of the financial year should be the March. So you can't choose the March and April together. So you either claim for the March or April, and this is challenged by the Pitambara. And High Court held that there is no restriction in the Act for choosing the periodicity over the financial year, and circular cannot restrict such a right. And hence, this circular again issued to rescind the earlier circular and saying that now the taxpayer can claim the refund for any periodicity chosen, even though that periodicity may cross the financial year. For example, you can now claim the March and April refund together. So this circular has issued and clarified itself. But along with this clarification, so along with the, even though this circular is issued on the basis of Pitambara, again that circular itself restricting the another right of the taxpayer. So which is that right? The circular is saying that in case of inverted duty structure, you are unable to claim the refund, or refund with respect to reduced rate of the taxes is not allowed. What means that? Means if your product, you may aware that the when GST law was introduced on 1st July, from that many of the product product GST rate has reduced. So some products rate reduced from the 3%, 28% to 18%, 18% to 12%. So let's say your product is earlier is at the 28% and now it is reduced to 18%. But whatever the purchased stock, so the product purchased stock is of 28%. So you are having a 1 crore stock which is purchased at the rate of 28% GST, and afterward GST rate reduced to the 18%, and hence you require to sell it as an 18%. Now this is nothing but the inverted duty structure. So you had purchased stock at higher rate and selling at lower rate. But in such a cases, circular saying that this scenario is not getting covered under the section 54, and you can't claim the refund as the input and output supplies are same. But friends, I have to highlight that there is no restriction that the input and in the section 54 that your input and output should be the same if you require to claim the inverted duty structure refund. So in such a cases, in our view, refund should be available, but again, circular is restricting the right of the law, and this can be challenged at the High Court. Now, what is the second hurdle created? Now, government has also said that while submitting the refund claim, you have to submit the HSN summary of inward supply. So it's a very complicated at this time during lockdown, or when many of the invoices or data is not available with the client. Government is asking for the HSN summary of inward supply. So it's a very much difficult task, but friends, try to give as much as possible the inward supply summary, HSN summary while filing of the refund claim. If not available, try to coordinate with the authorities that you are submitting afterwards, and you try to claim. We are submitting or representing these aspects to the government that many of the SSC are not having the HSN summary of inward supply, but this could take a time to get the change. But now you can give, you have to give that summary. Second hurdle created is that the refund is allowed to the extent of ITC of 2A. So you may aware that the earlier refund was allowed on even the invoices which are not reflected in 2A. So you have to reconcile that 2A, and whatever invoices not reflected, you have to submit that and claim the refund. But now government is restricting the refund to the extent of 2A. Now again, this is the restricted over and above law. Even though rule allow us to take a 10% provisional credit, and that also not allowed in the refund, or that is also overlooked during the refund. So it is also a harsh provision created by the law and can be challenged in the court of the law. But before challenging, we are representing these aspects with also this aspect also with the government authority. So these are the some new changes in the refund and which is created by the circular. Again, further there is a one notification 16/2020 issued recently, which are restricting the refund with respect to input tax credit of against the goods. So what this notification says, as per this notification, your export turnover value should be compared with the 1.5 times of the similar goods domestically supplied. So similar kind of the goods domestically supplied means you are expect a zero rated supply of the goods. First, this is applicable to goods only, export of the goods, and refund with respect to input supply. So in case of refund of the input supply, you have to compute the ratio of zero rated supplies and total supply. So while computing this ratio, this saying that the your zero rated supply value should be restricted to the 1.5 times of the like goods domestically sold. Means what? You take the value of zero rated supply or 1.5 times of the domestic goods value, whichever is lower. Now again, because of this, your ratio of zero rated supply and total turnover could get affected sufficiently. Second, this circular may be issued on the aspect that the many of the companies inflating value in case of the related party transaction to claim more refund. But the circular has ignored the fact of the supplies other than related party. So in case of other than related party, the supplies are genuine, and even though they are restricting the claim to the extent of the value of 1.5 of the domestic supply. So this is again this notification will be restricting your right of the refund, you can say. So keep in mind that that circular is related to goods only. So these are the certain you can say the hurdles or complications created in the refund claim. Now, along with the complications on account of COVID-19, government has allowed certain refund or relief for the refund. So what are that? So friend, at initial stage when lockdown was declared, that is in the month of March or in the month of February in some countries, in such cases there could be the scenario that you had received the advances for the services rendered, but because of the lockdown or businesses problem, that got the cancelled, and in such cases you had already issued invoice and paid the GST, or you are issued the receipt voucher and paid the GST. Then in such a cases, government has said that if you are not having output liability to adjust that GST paid on advances for which services are cancelled, in such a cases you can go for the refund. So these are refunds are allowed. Second, in case your goods are returned. So because of lockdown, if your goods are returned and not supplied and your order got cancelled and you had already paid the GST and now you are not having a GST liability for some months to adjust that GST paid, then you can also claim the refund, and government has allowed that refund within the ambit of the COVID-19. So friends, if such a cases in any of your client or in any of your businesses, please plan for the refund and please submit the refund as early as possible. So these are some changes recently announced by the government related to refund. So what can be the way forward as far as refund concerned? So as I discussed, earlier, we had discussed that the refund are getting processed too much quickly. Even in our case, we had processed the refund of the almost 5 to 6 clients in a week time. So government is taking the initiative of processing the refund and quickly processing the refund. So friends, please, if not applied, apply immediately. Whatever the scenario of yours, please apply that refund. Second, if you applied the refund and your refund is stuck on account of any system glitches or any of the error, then please try to find out the solution for the system glitches and the error, because your refund claim or your substantial right of the refund can should not be taken. This is a principle that it should not be taken away by way of by any documentation or error. So if there is a system glitch or error, you should properly plan or coordinate with the authorities, or you should resolve that by way of proper way forward. Then I want again we want to highlight that the authorities are working from the home. So as we are working from the home, like similar way, authorities are also working from the home and processing the refund. So of authorities coordinating all call on email. We are regularly coordinating with the authorities on call on email. Even though authorities, some of the authorities highlighted us that the for them it is compulsory to go to the office either weekly once or weekly by 2 weekly once. So they are going one by one by with the social distancing norms in the offices also. So they are coordinating with us. So you should also ensure to coordinate with them on call, on email, and get your refund processed. Second, if you are having the specific COVID-19 transaction and GST paid on that, and rather afterwards that cancelled, or any of the transaction where you are losing the GST, so please try to find out the solution or highlight if you are not eligible the refund. At least you can highlight that concern to the higher authorities, so that that transaction can be get addressed by the upper authorities. So many times what happened, these two, so cancellation of the advances and return of the goods are already highlighted to the authorities on account of the challenges of the lockdown. So that's why GST Council come up with the refund in such a scenario. But if there is another transaction where you are losing the GST and it is because of only lockdown, then you should highlight that time to time to claim that or to address that concern from the higher authority. So you can submit the policy level representation to the Chamber of Commerce, to MCCI, to government authorities, or even though directly to Delhi Council, GST Council. So while after submitting the representation, it could take a time sometimes, but at least you are without filing of the REIT, etc., without afterwards, your problem or get addressed at this stage only. So representation could be one of the way forward. So friends, this is our session related to